All right, guys, welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. Here in the garage, we have a Blackstone 36-inch griddle that we're going to get out of the box. We're going to put together, go through some of the features, and show you the process here. Now, there's two different types you can get. There's the ones with the hood, and then there's also one that doesn't have the hood. The hood's a little more expensive. This one also has the folding shelves, has some different accessories here. We have also a grill cover because this is going to be kept outside. These are awesome. You can cook a lot of great food on this. We're going to get this opened, and then we'll show you the exact process of how to put it together and then how to work some of the features. Everything is unboxed. It's packaged very well. So here we have the grill top, some of our accessories that we have to screw on there. We've got a shelf on the side. This is our main burner unit. Shelf there. So a few things here. Doesn't look that like a hard of an installation. Looks like all of the screws in the package here are all Phillips heads. So with the wheels, you just take off this nut and then just thread these on. There's a threaded hole right into the bottom of these. So do that to all four. Now these caster wheels do lock. If you push down on the lever, it'll lock it into place so it won't move. But if you're moving it, you want to push that like that and it'll swivel around. There's a bolt that goes through the longer side. So the longer screw goes through here into this table. And then on the smaller side, so this is a thinner side, you've got a shorter bolt, and the propane bottle holder goes on this side. If you try it the other way, there's not enough threads on the longer one, so make sure you're doing this, the propane bottle holder on the smaller, skinnier support beam. Okay, a propane bottle hanger here, which just has a cotter pin, and it goes like that. All right, this little basket in the front here, there's a screw here, then you want to put a screw in on the far side, and then what's going to happen is this is notched out because you can't screw in, you can't tighten that with this little hinge right there. So this kind of rests like that, and then we can put this second one in. All right, we're taking the burner knobs. These are all going on. There's 4 of them. You want to put them on in the off position, so the orange part is facing up. All right, next we're doing the handle on the other side. There's just 4 screws. These are the M6 by 12. Leave the first one in loose so that way, because there is some give, and you want to be able to line up the second one. All right, now there's 4 angle brackets that go on each of the corners, and they are labeled right and left. The angle faces this way here. So 2 screws, 1 there, 1 right there on each of the 4 corners. So for these side shelves, there's these step bolts here. We just screw 2 into the sides here, to the top ones, and then these will just slide down into the notch, or the other 2 down below. That will allow the shelf to be able to lift up and fold down when not in use. We do the same thing on the other side. Okay, then we put the shelf in place, and then you can just hand tighten those down. So on either side, both sides do this, but if you lift up the shelf, and then it will hang down like that, so that's where it's hanging. So this is where you could tighten these up. With this hanging down, you could get a screwdriver and tighten those up. Have it back up. Our little grease trap tray here has a removable liner. This just hooks on right there. All right, this is the griddle hood handle, and it already has the screws attached. We just put the screws through here. We're going to tighten them up here on the bottom. I don't need. All right, so now we just lift on the griddle, set it on here. There's a little notch right here that it goes into, and then it pushes backwards. So as you can see here, it doesn't drop down in the hole. This whole peg is above, and then there's just a notch below that. So we scoot it back, and then this one here is in. So that is how it looks when it's completely in and rested against the base. All right, let me show you how to get your propane tank hooked up. So this is a really cool propane hanger. If you don't need this, this flips out of the way, but the propane handle is going to hang right on here. There's these straps right here that kind of help keep it in place, helps it keep it when you're moving this thing around. And then all we get is our regulator. Our regulator is just going to screw onto our propane tank. And our controls are really simple. All we're going to do is we're just going to turn the knob to light on each of the sections that we want to start, and then we just push in our starter. We have to put a battery in here. The battery is not included, so we just go positive side facing out like that. Put our cap back on, screw that on, and you can hear this lighting. All right, guys, this was not very hard to put together. It is helpful to have two people, especially when lifting up the griddle top here onto the stand. That's helpful, have two people kind of holding things. But you have this nice cutting board area over here. All of these side shelves will fold down like that. We have this cool paper towel holder down here that will swing in and out. And then these are just some areas you can hang your tools off of on the side. Here's how our paper towel holder works. Kind of just flips out when you need them. When you don't need them, they just fold away. That way it keeps them dry out of the way. We've got a little tool caddy right here. It's got a bottle opener. And then a nice touch here is this is a magnetic strip. So if you want to keep like your spatulas or your knives, you can just have them right against there. The casters are really nice. This thing rolls really smoothly. You can lock the casters with you just press down on the foot locks here, and that's how you lock it. Lock it into place so it's not going to roll away. Now, Blackstone does have a great reputation of having just a high-quality griddle. It does have 4 sections here, 4 heat sections. So you can see you can kind of independently control each section of the grill. So depending on what you're cooking, you can control the heat. Also, before we get into this, we need to season the griddle. There's a QR code. You can just watch that video there. Blackstone does make their own griddle seasoning products, so you want to make sure you get that or something similar. There's a couple other accessories. We have the cover. We'll get that out and show you in a minute, but there's also the griddle toolkit that you're going to need, that or something similar. And this is a cool little grease tray in the back. You can see how this kind of goes down like this, so that way all the grease can kind of come down here. You can just feed that into that grease trap in the back. And then you can easily just change out that foil liner. The hood is nice because, when you're cooking things, you want to keep things warm, you can just lay that down. But there is the option to get it without the hood, and it's a little bit cheaper, but I really like this option. This is going to make it nice. It's going to help protect the surface, help keep it warmer. You can also get these totes, these storage totes. You can see here's a picture of them. You can get the totes that go down right here. So there's some great accessories for this that you can have. Maybe your extra storage. You can store some of your cooking supplies out here in this. Now this is the 36-inch grill cover. We're going to get this open. If you have the hood, this one is meant to be with the ones with the hood. So just get the appropriate one for the griddle that you have, the size that you have. This is going to be another accessory to help keep everything nice and clean, protected, especially if you keep this outside. The cover goes on really easily. It feels very heavy duty, and it's got nice sewn pockets in the side here, so that way the corners of those shelves, you can leave those up, and you don't have to store the shelves. They'll just stay right on there, and it's going to fit nice and secure there. And then there's a little strap on each side. We can pull that tight. That's going to snug it around there, and that's going to keep it from blowing off. This is a nice embroidered. This isn't just like a screen printed. This is a nice embroidered logo on there. All right, so to tighten it up, we just pull both sides. This cutting board on the right side is removable, so after you use it, you can just take it into the house, clean it up in the kitchen, wash it, put it back, so that's a nice touch. Make sure you order the griddle seasoning product. It's an oil that goes on the griddle before you start using it. There's just a simple seasoning process that's used. Make sure you order that because it does not come with it, and you need to do that before you start using it. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to see the link to the griddle, the accessories, the seasoning product, all in the description down below. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.